but he's definitely the curse. He's the problem one when it comes to these receivers.
Every time we break down some of these players, I always start to think, I'm like, oh, what was that series that somebody made a big play? And it's like, oh, that was you, Ray. Yeah. Wait a second, that's you. But coming into this one, I think I got to favor Faze Black. I want to see how they play, to be honest. I want to see how they come out. I think their start is going to be huge.
Immediately after break, Diabolic rocking the laser sight on the ASM-1, something that a few players have tried. Some say it works, some say it doesn't. Honestly, I think it's more of a placebo effect.
Yeah, we see Hook use it a lot. He's not here this weekend, but we have seen him use it a ton. He likes to run it without quick draw. Not a fan of quick draw in his submachine gun. But as I say, you know, Faze Black, I thought they were going to come out hot. You're going to see Apathy and Proofy both start 2-0. Study 2-0 as well, off to a pretty nice start. And you got to think, you know, Rise Nation doesn't look good this first map. You know, memories of Season 1 champs start to creep in their head a little bit, Ben.
Yep, absolutely. Apathy 4-0 on the start here as well, Matt. Faze in full control of this game, 23-0. Rise yet to get a point. Proofy with a 3-0 start. Of course, we mentioned him, of course, going on a cruise on Sunday. So even if Faze Black made it to Winners Bracket Final, Faze would not be playing.
Yeah, and something of note I actually saw down in the kill feed. It's going to be Pac-Man running an assault rifle for Rise. Had a little bit of a talk with him post Season 1 champs, and you know, he thought at Orlando he did a great job running an AR and wanted to get back to doing that role. And that looks like what he's going to do here this weekend. But Miyagi really struggling. You know, he's going to be their replacement for Chino for Call of Duty Championships. We talk a lot about Chino, one of the best hardpoint players in the game. Right now, Miyagi needs to pick up the slack that Chino kind of left that void.
And kind of going back to that Pac-Man using the assault rifle, again, that comes with synergy with Sender. You go back to Season 1 finals, it was Sender who was rocking the Mal. After Season 1, when he was on, obviously spent a lot of time on the Alice desk, during the commercial breaks, kind of asking him, you know, what kind of went wrong? He was like, well, I expect really to see us change roles a little bit. I expect to see Pac-Man run that battle.
You needed to change things up if you were Rise after Season 1 champs. You needed to figure out something that would, you know, kind of revitalize the team, get things going, but does not seem to be working right now as they are down large to Faze Black, and they're going to have to get on that rotation, start racking up some points, because it's going to get dangerous soon to that zone where you can't give up garbage time and you have to rotate early, that odd zone where you're going to have to rely on players to make individual plays.
Right. Apathy breaking onto the hard point as well. He's going to pick up one. More players pushing. He falls. Good break that by Rise. Diabolic can send it. The players managed to get on the hill. Of course, you want to try and control that back cave side. That's what Diabolic's trying to do. Pick up any kills from players, just trying to rotate on towards that hard point. And there's going to be one. Another player is actually going to be behind him. He's done a great job of just staying alive there, Matt.
They're doing a phenomenal job of holding this hill. I was a bit worried coming into this one, but it looks like Rise starting to settle down a bit, racking up some time. Faze Black has not gotten, actually, I kind of jinxed it right there. They've just started to get some time on this hill. I was going to say they have not touched the hill at all, but Study, he's going to be on your screen. Obviously got second place last year at COD Champs with Envy on Ray. You're going to be looking for him as not a leader of the team, but he's kind of the emotional trendsetter for the team. You know, when Study's hyped and he's giving good vibes to everybody, it just makes everybody a better player.
I mean, that's just kind of like a, as what does it say, a good vibe team. You know, Proofy, Study, Apathy, Sensor. It's very hard to imagine this guy's really having a big full-blown argument.
When Sensor plays confident, he's actually can put up some big numbers in the slaying department. I know everyone has the jokes about Sensor and whatnot, but when he plays confident, we've seen him put up some great games and have big games in clutch situations. Right. So I think he's a player you look at going into champs. He's going to really determine how this team does. If Sensor comes out and plays confident and plays well, I think the sky's the limit for this team, because Apathy and Proof and Study are three big difference makers.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you've seen some inconsistencies from all those three players, but you know, since they've really been on Faze Black, they look solid for parts. Obviously failed to qualify for Season 2. Was a big kind of alarm bell starting to ring when we're making predictions for the North American Regionals. But you know, so far so good in this series. 106 to 34. Rise just not able to compete.
And you see both teams, they're going to be on that rotation. Rise committing everybody to this final hill on the rotation, going early. It looks like they're going to win those battles. They should be able to get some time here at the beginning, but they are down a lot, Ben. They're going to need to make up a ton of time here. They pretty much need a full 60 here to contend in the second half.
Oh, Pac-Man's going to be flooded over towards poolside center. Meanwhile, just kind of chilling, waiting for some plays to push him. Pushes down himself, picks up one, looks for the second. Picks up the assist, and that's Miyagi with a big three-piece just to push out the boys from Faze Black.
Miyagi's starting to heat up a little bit on a 5 streak. We talked about his really slow start, how he was going to have to make up for Chino. A little bit of a different player than Chino. Chino in hardpoint, we see he's so aggressive. I mean, just he pushes anything. Right. He literally just runs at the hill time after time. doesn't care about how many deaths he has, just trying to force engagements on the hill. Miyagi, a little bit of a slower player, so you're going to have to see somebody take on that aggressive submachine gun role for Rise, and I think it's probably going to be Sender.
Yeah, Sender, without a doubt. That was kind of the role he was playing at the start of the game when he was playing under a WAT.
Right.
He's being a very, very aggressive player. It was only recently he kind of switched roles, and now ultimately going back to that ASM-1. Pac-Man feeling comfortable with the bow, it seems, but 15 and 17, you know, Pac-Man not putting up massive numbers with the bow, but I think it's better to say I think he feels a lot more comfortable with the bow than the ASM-1.
I think it does. You know, Pac-Man, an old school Call of Duty player, predominantly using assault rifles through that, you know, period of time. I think him running an AR probably feels more comfortable to him, and I think you need to kind of cater to him, make sure he's comfortable, make sure he's in a groove before you worry about everybody else. And you see right there, putting some nice shots cross map on Study, going to be able to take him out. But no, Rise, they're able to shorten the gap a little bit coming into the second rotation to Hills, Ben. What do you think they have to do to really make a game out of this one in the second half?
You know, they're going to need, you know, they're down, right? 135 to 83. They're going to have to make sure, as you kind of brought up a little bit earlier on, Matt, the rotations, they have to be on point, as well as making sure you're not giving away any free time. Kind of saw that in that first set of rotations where Faze got just some easy time on Hills. That's something which you can't afford to do when you're down and you're trying to chase.
I feel like Faze got a lot of uncontested time in the first rotations of Hills. I feel like a lot of the players in battles we were watching from Rise were nowhere near the hill. And you know, I remember the first time we went on Sensor when he was on the bottom hill, we watched his screen for maybe 10, 15 seconds. It was just uncontested time. He didn't have to fight any gun battles or anything. Just really, you can't let that happen if you're Rise. You got to win those battles before those hill cuts, and you got to get some pressure on the hill.
Apathy heating up as well. It's worth mentioning at 32 and 22. He's having a great game to start things off, and Faze once again starting to build themselves a lead. It's going to be Proofy on the hill. Has the support of Study. Study's going to trade that kill. Going to be challenged again. He picks up the two-piece. One more player jumping over the wall. He's left by himself, but again, doing a great job.
Yeah, and Apathy getting off to a really nice start, you know, playing extremely well in this game, 33 and 23. And Apathy's a player that you never know what you're going to expect. As an opponent, you come in and you don't know which Apathy you're going to be playing against. And it was one thing I remember with Cole that was really scary because that SB team was so good around Champs time. And, you know, Dido and Saints, two of the better slayers in the game. Doug was a phenomenal OBJ. And then you looked at the team, we're like, all right, we know we have to do X and X to stop those players. What is Apathy going to do? Because he was, you know, so hard to play against because some games he comes out and he slays like this. Other games he won't have large slaying games, but you always find, okay, there's a big play around the hill. Who makes that play? It's always Apathy. Comes through time and time and again.
Study on the hard point, going to fall, but Apathy 4 kills away from his 40th. Make that 3 kills now as he picks up another one. But Rise coming back into this game. Got to give him props. 165 to 121, still 35 seconds left on this hill. Study trying to lock it down. More players going to be pushing him from that pool side. Sensor, though, he's going to be on the hill. There's one, there's two. Nice play, pre-firing for the third. 3 plays from Faze on the hard point, though. They're making it very difficult for Rise to come back.
And, you know, Rise making it a close game. Pac-Man playing well, you know, +4, not doing any caps, but that's what you want out of your AR player, right? Just to kind of open up lanes for the subs. I think the submachine gun players need to play a lot more, you know, aggressive. Not seeing a lot of great plays in the hill from the submachine gun players of Rise. You're really going to need them to go big these last 2 hills.
Looking at Apathy, who's just trying to lock down this spawn for his teammates. One player actually right behind him. It's going to be Sensor. He falls. Studies on the hard point. Has it contested. Goes for the jump. Connects with the kill. But more pressure is going to be coming in from the boys at Rise. Nice plays coming out from Study Dozy. He picks up 2 kills on the hill.
As close as it gets, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always feel like FaZe Black is in control. You know, the game gets closer, and, you know, Rise making some nice plays around the hill, but I never feel like that FaZe Black is, you know, in trouble of losing the game. And I'm really just trying to put my thumb on why. I think it's just because they're not really, you know, forcing those engagements. Pac-Man's doing a great job winning some AR fights, opening up lanes, but I feel like
more than that,
there needs to be more pressure from the SMG players. We see when they try and push the hill, they're just getting shut down by the submachine gun players of Rise. I mean about FaZe Black. Sorry.
Apathy has 43 kills.
Yeah.
That's what you want your SMG play to be doing when he's, you know, pushing through.
Well, also he has 30 deaths on the flip side. He's forcing so many fights.
Exactly.
I think on that end, you know, your SMG players, a lot of, you know, perfect example of somebody who was on Rise, Chino, like we said before.
Right.
Great submachine gun in hardpoint. And you say, you know, Chino doesn't put up the best KD. Why would you say he's a great submachine gun player in hardpoint? It's because he forces so much action around the hill that if you have an AR player that opens up lanes and a player that forces so many engagements on the hills, it makes it so easy for the other 2 players to play.
Apathy close to dropping 50 kills, has 30 seconds. Can he pick up 5 kills? Gonna
Clock's gonna run out.
Yeah, time's gonna run out. They're gonna hit the scoreboard. After not gonna have a chance to pick up his 50th kill, but that is a convincing victory from FaZe Black. A 250 to 125-point lead. Study as well, worth a mention at 36 and 34. Proof not too far behind there at 35 and 26. Rice is getting completely outslayed.
They're just, yeah, I mean, it's difficult to win hard playing when you're getting outslayed. Apathy